she owned a Chinese American restaurant already, and she had done it for years, so she knew all the ins and outs of how to run a restaurant. She's a bartender there and everything. And then my wife, who was an accountant, and so she knew how to do the books and knew bartending from her mom and everything. And then they both look at me and say, "What are you gonna do?" And so I had to learn how to cook in a commercial kitchen. So it was trial by fire. So I had no time for free time because I was stuck in that kitchen. And one time I remember every cook walked out on me. It wasn't my fault though. But they walked out. And I was stuck there with one other guy pulling 90 hours a week. So here I'm thinking, when is my next acting gig? Because this is really hard, but it really taught me the value of really hard work, because then, it truly makes you reflect on things, because sometimes we all forget about what is the most important thing in life, right? And to me, it is family. And that ohana to me is so important. And, I think about my connection to Hawaii and what the people of Maui are going through right now. And so we're trying to help as much as we can as far as doing fundraisers to help raise money right now for the people that are suffering on Maui. So, it's, to me, there's other things that I try and do to give back to the community. And so that's kind of what our main focus is now, is to think of ways to help other people right now. So that's kind of my passion right now.
That's amazing, and yes, please. And Billy, you mentioned charity work you had done together all those years ago, and I want to open up to both of you guys. Are there causes that you've been actively working with in your spare time or whatever time you do have?
Well, I've done some anti-bully stuff, which is really important. Talk to some kids, and I've had a chance to do that with some great karate senseis. And my heart's with Maui too. I have a friend that works with some big charities we're helping out. So, yeah. But that's it right now.
Yeah, for me, my wife is the nurse practitioner in palliative medicine. She worked for hospice for a while, and she works in palliative care, which is sort of end-of-life pain management. And so, I've always been actively involved in the fundraising things that they do with her hospital and things like that. But that's part of my everyday. The phone's ringing all the time, and she is a kind of a go-to person for family and friends when they're dealing with a crisis like that. So those are the things, family and humanity and giving back, and that's the important stuff, That's the important stuff.
On top of loving your work, they're just amazing human beings. It's so nice to hear about that. That's great. I want to play a quick game with you, okay? So get ready for this one. I'm going to ask you a series of questions and point to the person of the three that would fall most likely into this category. All right. So who is most often late? Who is the late person in this group? And on the count of three, just point to the person you think is the most late. It could be yourself.
He's going to start, dare I say, a fight?
No, it's Jacob Bertrand is not here.
Yeah.
Who would be the late one out of you three? 1, 2, 3. Yuji, do it! Do it!
I'll say this much. We're all pretty responsible and on time.
Sure.
But I will have to say that Billy is probably slightly less on time than I am. Not by much. What do you think, Billy?
I think that's true, but you're
I'm overly on time.
He's overly on
like,
time.
I got
I'll
here
say
on
like a half
Tuesday.
hour early. I like to show up like just so you know the minutes going by.
Although he was here in Toronto before I got
I was
here.
here before you.
So there goes that theory.
But I'll never hold anybody up. But you know, you might have to wait for a second.
That's what a late person says.
It's a friendly game.
Yeah.
We're all cool.
Yeah.
Yuji, are you the Asian dad at the airport 4 hours before a domestic
Oh
flight?
yeah. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I hate being late. That's one of my pet peeves. So I try and get to this. If I'm driving to the set, I get there probably an hour at least. Because I figured if I'm there an hour before, then I get to have breakfast on the set, then I can just chill and not, worry. Because that's one of the craziest things about. I can't stand it. I can't stand being
Because there's
late.
always going to be, right? There's always going to be the fires that happen. There's always going to be the surprises, the curveballs.
I just realized I am the one that of us three. It's true. They're both really early. They're on time. He's always there. Like I stumble.
He lives there. He opens the gate.
He's already getting a massage. He's like he's done.
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
He's
really, and you too. You guys.
I
have a lot to learn.
I like to prepare, even though all the preparation in the world, if you throw the curveball, if it starts pouring rain at a time it's not supposed to, all the preparation is not going to fix that. But I do like the comfort of setting my feet, because you know there's going to be a windstorm and a lightning storm, or you're going to get blindsided by something, or I'm neurotic. So okay, go ahead.
What I love this was a question of point, so there was no answer, and all of you proceeded to make a case for why you're not that person.
Did we all win that round because we all agreed that?
Yeah, you all agreed. Yeah.
So we all got a point.
All right. Who is the biggest sports fan out of the three of you? On the count of 3 point. 1, 2, 3.
I say Ralph.
Yuji's a big sports fan. Are we talking the Dodgers? Are we talking the Islanders? Are we talking the Seattle Mariners? Or are we talking the New York Jets or the Nashville whatever?
I feel like
ballet.
I feel like you're the biggest sports fan because you're thinking about this on a
UFC,
really complex level.
Say Ralph.
It would be Ralph for sure.
Because my son is so into it as well, and he just got a job with the New York Islanders, so it's kind of awesome for us. It's a team I rooted for as a kid, and he got a job there, and so yeah. I was just on Hard Knocks the other day. Ooh, I can't say that, but
Okay.
documentary series.
And the three of you have a long history together. Who is the biggest prankster between the three of you? Biggest prankster on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
I would say Billy.
Why do I feel like the bad kid in school right now?
But he didn't know. The reason here, I'll defend my good friend. He's not a prank. He's not a rip the rug out from when you need to be standing. He's very funny, very quick, pretty smart, and he will go like I'll often stop and check, and he'll just go for it. It'll be so freaking funny because he just went for it. That's the difference. Maybe.
Without, you don't have to answer this question, but would you say that Billy's the one who likes to improvise a little bit more on set every now and then, or in life?
He's really good at it.
Yeah.
I would say that. I would say as far as improvisational, and then the looser you are and the more comfortable you are, the more it's open for that. But sometimes it takes me a little longer to relax, and that's why I have to show up 3 hours early. It takes me a while.
I like to show up like when I'm needed. I don't like to be before I'm needed. I like to walk and then land
We've
where I'm
left
supposed to
that
be at that
question.
time and do it. I know we passed that question.
Improviser on the show.
Which is my prank right now.
I swear to you,
So-
tomorrow, your arrival's 11, he'll be here at 10 o'clock, be like, where are you? Just to prove what happened here. Okay, listen. Who is the best dancer between the three of you? Who's the best dancer? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Ralph. Let's see something, Ralph.
Oh.
Does everybody want to see Ralph dance? Let's see something.
Oh, you're not?
We'll do it behind closed doors.
Yeah, we're not just, that's right. He was on Dancing with the Stars. I mean, how do you know, of course he is the best dancer.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Who is the best singer? Who is the best singer between the three of you?
I haven't heard Yuji
Well,
sing.
I don't think you want to hear me sing. You want to see this room clear out? Have me sing a tune.
We can sing REO Speedwagon. I think. What do we do?
I think Billy.
Eye of the Tiger.
Billy.
Eye of the Tiger. But, yeah, I don't know.
Ralph, make the call, man. I feel like you have an answer here.
I have done a musical, and nobody threw tomatoes, or the reviews were okay. So I'm assuming I could carry a tune, but I haven't heard the three of us. The Masters.
I've been in a lot of bands. I play like Acoustic Outlaws. I'm like acoustic, do a lot of like classic rock and stuff, and I do sing there. Ralph never was invited to those shows. I'm sure he'd be like, dude. No, I'm just kidding.
These are tough.
We haven't heard each other sing. Like we're not like, hey man, Ralph. We don't sing to each other.
Oh, but I wish you did now. Now that you said it. Like, I wish Yuji walks on the set and serenades you. It's like, let's do this scene. Like, that's what I want now. All right, only one more on this one. Between the three of you, who is the most competitive? Who is the most competitive of the three of you?
I think we're all equally competitive in a good way.
Yeah.
I can survive in this,
that's a good
this
answer.
world, and that's what we do.
Well,
You
you're
have-
certainly dedicated and
good way.
perfectionists on anything we do. So there's not neither. I've worked with both of these guys a ton, and when we approach whatever we're doing, boy, this is a tap dance, literally. There's no stone left unturned. We're really trying to find the best of the best. So I don't know if it's as much competition as it is, wanting to realize, deliver our best.
I don't think it's competitive against anybody except yourself.
Yeah, that's probably
It's like you're competing with yourself to be your best self, which is what we hopefully are all doing, right? I mean, you're like measuring yourself from the last time. So, to stick around with what you do, you have to keep doing that.
Talking about competition, and I don't know, this is a bit a tricky thing, but like, I grew up on 80s action movies. And in the 80s, I felt like there was always a rivalry between like Van Damme and Steven Seagal. Did any of you three get sucked into those rivalries? Or were you just like the safe young kids who just hung out on the side watching this all happen?
Like, do we get sucked into the genre stuff?
Yeah, like did you ever feel like you were competing with those other guys, or did you feel like
No.
No way. Are you kidding me?
They might have felt that way about us.
Yes, of course.
Just kidding. Just kidding, Jean-Claude. I know you're watching this.
I'm sure that's what he's doing right now.
He's waiting for Billy Zabka puts you on a list. You get an invite. The letter is an invitation to a battle in an unknown Toronto location. And that sense that Master's there, just like, winner gets a girl, here's the money. All right, we're gonna end this with a quick this or that. So we'll get some definitive answers. Each of you will get a chance to answer this or that. Okay. Vacation or staycation?
Staycation.
Vacation.
God, that's a tough one. I love both. I'll go with the staycation.
Vacation or vacation
This
one
is
town over?
this is the vacation.
This is the
So then I want the
vacation.
staycation.
True.
A good book or a good comic book?
A good book for me.
A good book.
Good book.
All the Comic-Con fans like, what?
What the hell? Everyone in unison, how dare you leave?
Isn't a comic book a book?
That's a philosophy.
Yeah, a good
right?
book then.
Right. Zombies or vampires?
Vampires. It'd be more interesting.
Yeah, I think vampire.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. So,
Well,
Zombies are zombies. They're just kind of, they're zombies.
just-
Vampires have a backstory.
Rom-com or action movie?
Action movie. A good rom-com's cool.
Ralph, just answer with your heart. Your heart is saying rom-com on your staycation
I'm
with a
going
good book.
action movie. I'm going action movie.
I guess a good rom-com action film would be good. We need more of those.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
action.
Action. You knew the answer right away. Okay. Would you rather be Instagram famous or infomercial famous?
Infomercial, 100%.
Commercial all the way.
I might even do some. In front of.
I'd go IG.
Does this fall under, have any of you made an infomercial?
No, that's why we want to be infomercial.
You want to be the Ron Popeil of late night. All right, okay. Okay, which is harder to film? An action sequence or a heavy dramatic sequence?
I'll go with the dramatic sequence. Yeah, I'd say a scene that requires a lot of emotion, all that stuff is physically draining. Action is like, yeah, you do your choreo, you got it. It's like cake, but the other, it's a lot emotionally. I'm getting choked up just talking about it.
Ralph, Billy?
I would say the dramatic, emotional scenes require. They both require focus because the other, if you're not focused, you're going to get hurt. So that is the challenge there. I'm going to tap dance again and not have a strong answer, but there are challenges both. The action sequences and those scenes were much easier 30 years ago. But the dramatic sequences are always challenging because you want to mine the most depth out of it and the most colors and layers to it. Where yes, it's true in action sequences you're doing your moves, you're getting your getting the pickups of what you need so they can edit the scenes together. But a great action scene only really works for the audience in my view, and we talk about this all the time, if it's played in what's going on for the characters. Because otherwise it's just a fight scene and there's a billion of them in every movie that comes out. So if you care about what you're watching, so in essence I'm talking myself into a rabbit hole of that action scenes are dramatic scenes. So yes, they're both different.
Ralph, you just don't like picking answers, man.
Such a wuss.
Billy, action or
Which
dramatic?
one is harder is the question?
Yeah, for you as an artist.
That's a really hard question. I mean, I don't know what's harder. I would say if I had to wake up tomorrow and choose which one I would do, I would want to do a dramatic scene. To know you have to wake up, especially in some of the time schedule we're on, in some cases, and some things we do in our lives and career, just the speed at which things move. But I would. So I don't know. With good training and good timing and luxury of rehearsing a fight scene, it's a different heart. It's two different. It's equal.
It's equal.
Yeah, that's physically demanding, but a dramatic scene is emotionally demanding, and then it's also you're using the instrument as an actor to connect with what's going on in the scene. So if I had to choose tomorrow, it would be like if I had a huge fight scene or a huge dramatic scene, I would whip dramatic scene.
Yeah.
It's more fulfilling.
It's been a joy sitting with you three as a fan for my entire life. Our time is up, but I will remind everyone here, these three will be here all weekend long.
Thank you, guys.
Taking photos, signing autographs. One more. Would you rather fight your way out of a tough situation or dance your way out of a tough situation?
I danced my way out of a tough situation all day long.
I'd fight.
I go with you.
Amazing.